API port in MuleSoft. Now we are focusing on API Hub or API Portal. API portals are bridges between API providers and API consumers that provide information about the API at every stage of an API's lifecycle. API portals allows providers to expose and publicize their APIs, educate developer communities about them, provision user access, generate client keys, and more. For API consumers, API portals are the place to register applications, reset credentials, share and interact with API documentation, provide feedback about the quality of the API, and report bugs. Here you can see the 3 API lifecycle stages. Basically, what is full lifecycle API management? As API adoption increases, their usage continues to spread across all areas of the business, but APIs alone are not enough to meet the rising integration challenges of today's digital world. Organizations must give their API programs first-class treatment with the full lifecycle API management solution, enabling developers with an API management solution across full lifecycle of that API provides them with the flexibility and adaptability necessary to integrate application systems and data in an evolving environment. Full API lifecycle management is the process of overseeing an API from its creation to retirement across its full lifespan. This includes everything from designing, publishing, documenting, securing and analyzing APIs. An effective API strategy must include an API management solution that makes APIs easily discoverable and reusable and ensures that they are properly governed and secured. At the core of the API management is the need to survive the full lifecycle of an API and enable the associated ecosystem. An API first approach emphasizes the importance of the entire lifecycle by strategically treating APIs as a product and managing them as such. The outcome of this approach is well-designed, managed, and secured API to serve developers building a new experiences. Below are the 3 distinct stages of this product-centric life cycle: design, implementation, and management. Design. The first step in the API lifecycle is design. When the API is created, the designing an API start with the outside in the perspective, beginning with the interface contract of the API. API developers create the user interface of API first, determining how the API looks and behaves. This is also known as the API contract. This approach is typically referred to as design first approach and should follow a deliberate API design lifecycle to optimize for the best experience. This step must be done in a human readable fashion. To specify the contract in a way that developers can easily digest. Within this step, developers perform these tasks: design, identify the process and business requirement, create logical data model, translate into logical service API groupings, simulate, model API resources, model API operations methods, model request response payload codes, feedback, mock up the API, publish interactive console, create notebook use cases, receive developer feedback, invalidate modify API design as appropriate based on the developer feedback. Continue to validate. Any well-designed API will have repeatability across other APIs. This can easily be encapsulated into best practice patterns both at the structural level of the API, nouns, resources, as well as at the method level, verbs. So as API developers go about the design process, it is important that they can discover and share repeatable patterns. Implement. The API implementation is a crucial piece of enabling next generation enterprise, enabling the continuity of hundreds or thousands of APIs to a backend as well as to each other key. This must be done in a systematic manner as opposed to point-to-point code. The two steps that go into the implementation stage are building and testing. A systematic approach to building ensures that the API developer has the following architectural patterns easily available to them: orchestration, transformation, routing, data mapping, and connectivity across systems. Once the API is built, it will go through rounds of API testing to ensure that it is functioning as expected. If the testing is completed with no problems, you can move on to the next lifecycle stage. But most often the API will go through several rounds of testing and adjusting before moving on to deployment. Test automation tools are critical here, as this integrates onto the DevOps processes of continuous delivery and deployment. Management. It is critical to ensure your application building blocks are following the best practices in security and architectural governance by applying policies to them at runtime. Monitoring all traffic via an API manager is equally critical because it just takes just one weak link to bring the ship down. Within this lifecycle stage are the following steps: secure, deploy, monitor, troubleshoot, and manage. Additionally, these APIs need to be discoverable to be reused for other purposes. The ability to appropriately publish them so the consuming developer can find, research, and understand them easily could make or break your entire program. So here you can see steps. The first step is design. Under that you can see this task: design, simulate, feedback, validate, and let's go to the API specification. It is connected to the API specification. Then the next step is implementation. Here you can see two steps: build, and then build is connected to test here, and test is connected to service with API. And here you can see next step, management. CQI is connected to deploy, and deploy is connected to monitor, and monitor is connected to troubleshoot, and troubleshoot is connected to manage, and go through likewise. Here you can see meet anypoint. You can see the anypoint exchange here. Anypoint exchange is the global repository for all technical assets in an API or Mule application's lifecycle. It is a central hub for saving, discovering, and collaborating on reusable assets such as APIs, connectors, examples, and templates. Users can discover and use proven assets by the MuleSoft ecosystem, or curate private tenant of exchange with organization specific assets for internal collaboration and learning. As new APIs are created, Exchange automatically generates documentation and maps API dependencies like fragments, connections, and policies. Anypoint platform supports both API, Open API Specification (OAS) and RESTful API Modeling Language (RAML), making API development language agnostic. API providers can also create registration structure that allows the provider to track who is accessing their APIs. After searching for an API or integration asset, the natural next progression is to test portions of API before implementing it in the project. Exchange portal have API notebook snippets embedded within the portal, as well as mocking service integrated directly with Exchange to make testing easy. This allows the user share and test functionality of the API with both internal and external users without implementation, and most importantly without disrupting existing integrations. Once an API portal is ready to share with relevant stakeholders, you can customize your portal to fit your brand. You can change the banner image, color, favicon, and more, so that it provides a seamless transition from your web properties. As a central repository for all technical assets, Exchange also keep track of APIs as they are updated. It is a great place to host information surround the deprecation policy, what circumstances may cause an API to retire, and how to migrate to a new version of an API. In the event that APIs are deprecated, any Exchange setups a banner to notify users about deprecation of a specific API version, and emails all existing consumers of the API to notify them as well. As an example, we can consider to access an organization's public portal. Step 1, navigate to Exchange, then public portal. Step 2, from the developer portal page, select the asset that you want to access. As an example 2, we can consider to publish an API on the portal. Step 1, in Anypoint platform, click API Manager, then in API Administration, click an API version of an API. Step 2, on the API version details page, under API portal, select create new portal from the drop-down menu. In step 3, on the home page for the portal, edit the text using Markdown. Step 4, click one of the grayed out icons in the center of the canvas to enter text, upload a graphic, or upload the file. For example, click the text icon and enter information about the API that you want to communicate to the portal visitors. Step 5, click the graphics icon to enter a t-shirt graphics. Step 6, use the add drop down in the left pane to add widgets and pages to the site. For example, add an external link, add a navbar heading, click set to visible, add an API reference, API console, setting this page to visible as well. Step 7, click private, toggling the public private control to make the portal public. Step 8, click live portal to see the published portal. Here you can see step 8, click live portal to see the published portal. Here you can see here t-shirt ordering service 1.0 development. Now we are considering limitations in API Experience Hub overview. This release has the following limitations. API Experience Hub does not use the platform cache. API Experience Hub functions at the main organization's level only. You cannot connect the Salesforce organization to more than one endpoint organization. An API portal can have a maximum of 250 APIs. Do not make changes to the permissions of the out-of-box teams created in access management for API Experience Hub. Each assist added to the API portal uses 2 permissions, and access management has a limit of 1000 permissions per team. API groups are not available. API Experience Hub is not certified for use on the mobile devices. Some functionality works on mobile devices, but some functionality such as API console does not work. IP restrictions are not supported. For more information, see the troubleshoot section in the documentation. Validation rules cannot be applied to the standard objects that are created during the Salesforce linking process. For more information, to see the troubleshoot section for the workaround in documentation. From the API console, API cannot be tested using the authorized credentials from the request panel. From API console, sync API and SOAP specifications cannot be downloaded. The current release, we are considering the released as of December 2023. Here we are considering a release notes in 1.3.0 in September 2023 in API Hub Experience in Hub release notes in API Experience Hub. Here, what's new in this version? The API details page now shows the content of instances and the link to the instances screen, where you can view the name and the URL and a copy of URL if available. Now we are considering administrators in getting started in API Experience Hub. Following users can get started with these links: administrators and developers. Here we are considering administrators. Administrator can create API portals in these easy steps. One, assign administrator permission, set up the necessary permission for the administrators to connect to the Salesforce and create a portal. Connect to the Salesforce. The instance can be a new or existing Salesforce organization. To connect, specify the environment type and enter the custom Salesforce domain if you have one. Log in and allow permission and confirm the account. Style your portal. Once you have connected, once you are connected to Salesforce, you can style the portals out of box pages with logos, fonts, color schemes, and more. Manage your portal. Manage APIs by adding APIs from Exchange and setting the visibility for the API versions. Manage your users by approving access requests from your users. Preview and publish your portal. Publish the portal to make it available to your community. Now we are considering grant the API Experience Hub administrator permission in assigning administrator permission in API Experience Hub. The organization administration and API Experience Hub administrator can perform all of the functions to create the portal. Only organization administrator or existing API Experience Hub administrator can grant a user and using the API Experience Hub administrator permission. Grant this permission when you want to another user in your organization to perform Salesforce linking process, create and curate the portal, manage the portal, and manage users. To grant the API Experience Hub administrator permission to the user, one log on to the Anypoint platform using the account with the organization administrator permissions. Click Access Management, click Users, click the username of the user that you want to add the API Experience Hub administrator permission. Select the permission and click Add Permission. From the select permissions to add for this user, search box and enter API Experience Hub admin and select the checkbox. Then click the blue plus icon. Now we are considering connect to Salesforce connecting to Salesforce in API Experience. The process of creating API portals include connecting with Salesforce Experience Cloud to link your Anypoint platform organization to your Salesforce organization, then installing the Salesforce Experience Hub Experience Cloud package. The linking process is one-time step when creating your portal. Not only an organization administrator or API Experience Hub administrator can link the organizations. Follow these steps to link your API portal. Navigate to the Anypoint platform, enter username and password, and then click sign in. From Anypoint platform, select API Experience Hub from the list of products. From the connect to Salesforce Experience Cloud dialog, select the option for the environmental list, production, sandbox. If you do not know which Salesforce in organization environment type you have, connect to the Salesforce and contact your Salesforce administrator. If you have a custom Salesforce domain, select I have a custom Salesforce domain and enter your domain address. If you don't use a custom domain and you have Salesforce sessions in the selected environment, logging in the Salesforce using the first active session, click connect. Confirm the Salesforce access information and click continue. Click allow for MuleSoft to access your data and click connect. Click continue. This process of installing the Salesforce Experience Cloud package begins. Then when the package is installed successfully, you receive an email. Now we are considering style API portal homepage in styling and creating your API portal in API Experience Hub. Follow the guided steps to style homepage. To add the company logo, drag or upload an image file to upload company logo. The supported file formats is PNG, JPG, SVG, and GIF. If to add a banner image, drag or upload on image file to select the banner image. The supported file format is PNG, JPG, SVG, and GIF. To brand your org with fonts colors from customize org branding, select font style from the drop down menu. Select font color for the banner image for the color picker. Select page background color from the color picker. To add the title to your portal banner, enter the title in the enterprise title in the enter product banner title text box. To add the description for your API portal, enter the description in the enter portal description text box. To add the footer text and an URL, enter your footer text and URL in the corresponding text boxes from the configured footer. Click next to style and the API catalog. Now we are considering add APIs from the Exchange, managing APIs in managing your portal in manage in API Experience Hub. Curate your portal in API Experience Hub by adding API from Exchange. When adding APIs to the portal, default visibility is administrator only. You can change the visibility to include members or everyone. To add APIs to your portal, from the API management page, select APIs in Exchange Hub. To search for an API by name or description, enter the name or description into the search bar. 3. Select an API from the list. Click the more options icon and select add to portal. The API displays in the first list in the API in the portal tab. Now we are considering add and remove portal components using the builder for common customizations in customizing your portal using Experience Builder in API Experience Hub. From the builder, add or remove API Experience Hub component from your portal. One, navigate to your builder, click the component icon, scroll to custom components, click a component, for example API console, or drag it into the portal and drag it into the portal. To remove the component, click the trash icon. Now we are considering previewing and publishing your portal in API Experience Hub. When you are done managing and curating your portal, you can preview your changes in the builder, then publish it to your users. The URL for portal is not accessible until the portal is published. When you publish your site at the first time, the portal URL is live and logging access is enabled. To preview and publish the portal, follow these steps. If you are on the manage your API portal page, click preview and publish your portal. Review your changes, then click publish. Now we are considering registering for access to portal in discovering and consuming APIs in API Experience Hub. Users who access an API portal without logging, it cannot perform most actions in the portal, like requesting access to APIs to use them. Becoming a member gives you access to more APIs and functionality. Anyone can sign up for an account to become a member. After signing up, API Experience Hub send a welcome email that contains a link to set up the account and password. To register for an account, in the browser window, enter the URL of the portal, click login, click not a member, enter your first name, last name and email address, click sign up, follow the instruction in the welcome email to set up your account. Now we are considering cannot see images in the builder preview that were uploaded when creating the portal in troubleshooting in API Experience Hub. In the builder preview, you cannot see the images that were uploaded when creating the portal because the shared for user is not a member of any libraries. To add the shared user as a member of the asset library, log into the Salesforce organization as a system administrator. Click the app launcher, enter files in the search and select files. Click libraries in the navigation pane. Click asset library in the list. Click manage members to manage library members. The manage library members screen opens. In the add members field, click down the arrow next to the stack icon and select people, and the add members field shows the search people box. Click in the people box and select builder preview. In the access field, select author. Click add to allow the builder preview user to upload images in the builder for later use. Current members section shows the builder preview members and author access. Close the screen, confirm that the builder preview user can see the library images in the builder. Reload the page if the images are not showing up. As an error example, we can consider this. Request access for an API group through public portal is showing resource not found pop-up. The resource you are trying to access could not be located. It was probably removed by someone else. If you think this is a mistake, contact your administrator. There's a request ID here.